You want me to hold it?
No. Flip it.
Okay. Blame her for everything.
Sorry, I'm very new and we got completely lost and we couldn't find our way here.
We finally found our way, don't we?
Really apologize. We are very new to New Jersey, and we are so privileged to be a part of your community. It's just totally incredible. My name is Asha. I'm married to Sudarshan. Um, with, I think, God's grace, Swamiji called us, and we met Swamiji a year ago in Seattle because we went looking for some Vedanta, and we loved it. And so we told him, we are moving and I'm going to miss you. And so, as you know, we moved maybe a month ago. And so he called up saying he's passing through Newark. Could not believe it. And my job got delayed. So we were thrilled that my job got delayed. I was very angry, but subsequently thrilled because Swamiji came to spend a day, 22 hours with us. So Swamiji is a senior acharya of the Vedanta Center, and he was in charge of the California Vedanta Center, and then moved to Seattle because God wanted us to learn from him. And he's Belur Mutt. Have you all been to Belur Mutt? He was a senior acharya there teaching, and he has written books, and he has edited lots and lots of articles, and vast experience. And people in New York actually want him to go to New York, and I said no, New Jersey. So we are very thrilled to have Swamiji, and I really thank you all for coming on a Thursday, because Thursdays are difficult and you're still here. And so it'll be worth every moment. So thank you, and I'm not going to waste any more time. Thank you, Swamiji.
We would like to chant Guru Stotram for like 5
Yeah.
minutes. Hari Om, we will chant Guru Stotram. There was a printout distributed. Please use it and then we will start. Because if you can lead it. Yeah, it is the 13th. Vyaptam yena characharam tatpadam darshinam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimirandasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Avaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yatkinchit Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapiyat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarvashruti Shiroratna Virajita Padambujaha Vedantambuja Suryoyaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chaitanya Shashvata Shantah Vyomatito Niranjanaha Bindunada Kalatitaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jnana Shakti Samarudaha Tattvamala Vibhushitaha Bhukti Pradata Cha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Aneka Janma Samprapta कर्मबन्ध विघातिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। शोषणं भवसिन्धोश्च प्रापणं सारसम्पदः गुरोर्पादोदकं सम्यक् तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मन्नाथ श्रीजगन्नाथः मद्गुरु श्रीजगद्गुरु मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरोर्निश्च गुरोः परमदैवतं गुरोः परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव
मम देव देव. Oh yeah.
We can start the program.
Okay. I had kind of planned a kind of a meditation, etc. But since we are running short of time and to be mindful of, we just close our eyes for a few moments and try to visualize that golden light within your heart. That light is the light of the Atman. So close your eyes and feel and see that light there within your heart. Feel that light to be yours. Feel that silence and the light. Take long, deep breaths and slowly open your eyes, please. In Vedanta, the study of Vedanta as well as the teachings of Vedanta are not superficial. One has to be in touch with one's own reality and teach. And at the same time, the hearers also will be in touch with that same reality. It's only then can one teach and learn Vedanta. We heard the hymn to the Guru. The Guru is equated with God in Vedanta. If you can see a Guru, not the physical form of the Guru as Guru. Because in one of the Upanishads, Yasya Devet Para Bhakti, Yasya Devet Tata Guru. So if you can see God in your Guru and Guru in your God, that is, there was Swami Vivekananda's one disciple, Sadananda, Sadvilasananda, something like that. So he's saying by Swamiji's grace, this and this has become one. That is, the Guru and the Ishta has become one. That's a culmination of knowledge. And in India, not in India, you don't have to be narrow. There is a Brahma Vidya parampara. And there is also an opinion that God comes over and over again to re-establish this knowledge of Brahman, the tradition of the knowledge of Brahman, which is astounding. We are okay when there's a decline of dharma and there's the rise of adharma, the God incarnates, yes, but then it is actually to protect this Brahma Vidya, protect the Brahma. And we are all fortunate to be in this great tradition. So as Shankaracharya's Sthiti Karanam, in order for the establishment of order in this world, Vedanta has been there with us for ages and ages. So sages have cultivated this knowledge and transmitted it to us. Today, the Vedanta that we study and understand has had the sacrifices of thousands and thousands and thousands of lives, sages, great sages. They dedicated their lives to the study, propagation, and transmission of Vedanta. It's not something flighty or airy. So it has behind it a tremendous strength. And it is our duty also to preach Vedanta. The first thing, I thought I'll have a kind of a structured talk, but I thought things might as well become a little informal and start talking. The next thing that we need to understand about Vedanta is, though we have studied Vedanta philosophy, we studied the scriptures. I used to do that too. I had that wrong conception. When I was very young, I used to read Chinmayananda Mission's publication, his discourses on the Upanishads. And my friends used to ask, what's this? And I was saying, this is what it is. My God. What's wrong with you? I said, I'm all right. There's something wrong with you. Vedanta is not external. Get this one thing straight. It's a study of your own nature. When you can understand it, you are studying yourself. Then you can understand Vedanta. Oh, it's just a philosophy and this book and that book, this commentary, that's a commentary on you, on all of you. It was supposed to be a Vedanta in practice. Swami Vivekananda is very clear that Vedanta was practical first and philosophical next. In all the Upanishads, most of the Upanishads, you find great kings and emperors having Vedanta. They are Vedantins and they are ruling huge empires. And Swamiji says it's not like in today's days. In those days, absolute monarchy, the kings were the busiest. You find them teaching Vedanta, learning Vedanta, And compared to their lives, our lives are one of leisure. We should have been doing better than them. So that is the. And then when you come down to the Bhagavad Gita, where has Vedanta been preached? Oh, it's in my drawing room. Come and. No, it's straight out there on the battlefield. This proves that this Vedanta can be applied there also. Because once you're studying yourself to this Vedanta, you can translate it to every, you can say, movement of life. Even in the most intense, you can say, fields like a battlefield, Vedanta is. So it has a long history. Okay. Vedanta, there are 10 schools. We won't go into the technicalities. There are 10 schools of Vedanta. And they have been broadly classified as dualism, qualified non-dualism, and non-dualism. And each have been at loggerheads at times. Vedanta developed by being challenged. A school comes and challenges your position and you got to apply. The Purva Paksha and Uttara Paksha. Vedanta, you have to challenge Vedanta. It's not a passive philosophy. And it's not a dismissive philosophy. This world, there's something called a Punjabi Vedanta. You know? The world does not exist in the 3 periods of time. So, get me this hot chapatis. Jagat 3 kaal mein hai hi nahi. Garam roti le aao. So you see the contradiction in our thinking. And India has been towards the later 16th, 17th, 18th centuries, we went into a kind of a huge philosophical twaddle with things were not being grounded in our being. That's why when you find Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Swamiji coming and living Vedanta, grounding it in our day-to-day actions, then it becomes meaningful. Then Vedanta started spreading beyond its borders. First it was challenged on philosophically, on moral grounds, on every grounds. And it met its challenges. And then it spilled over. And this is not the first time that Vedanta is kind of spreading all over the world. Swamiji says India was saved 2 times by Vedanta. First by Buddha. Yes, now what you call it Buddhism, nothing but old Vedanta. And the next by Shankaracharya. And this is the 3rd time. When the challenges to society are so intense, those challenges were different. And today the challenges are intense. Challenges to what? To your personal life. You can't find yourself. You're just lost in all these things. So it is here that when you imbibe your own real nature, then you can face all these challenges. That's why Swami Vivekananda and all these great teachers came. Saying, this is the real time for Vedanta to take root and to spread. Swamiji says, Vedanta spreads whenever irreligion rises. Agnosticism, skepticism rises, you have Vedanta. The old ideas of dualistic gods and all these things are inadequate. There's only one way. So this is a great gift for this age. And we must be able to do justice a little to this life. Okay. That being said, we'll speak about a little of Vedanta, practical Vedanta. I thought I'll give you some highlights of why Vedanta can be. There was a time when Vedanta was based on the eligibility criteria. So yeah, you were eligible, you were not. You were not, you were not, you were not. What? It had become a kind of exclusive club. You had to spend years in hard discipline in order to study Vedanta. And there were a few who could do that. This time, by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swamiji, and all the great, you can say, acharyas who have come, everybody has become eligible for Vedanta. This is something that we don't really realize. Even in the, you can say, Madhusudan Saraswati's commentary, there he says, don't tell this Vedanta to the uninitiated, the ineligible. That was in the 15th century. Now, everybody is eligible. You see, there's a need for everybody to understand. They may not understand it comprehensively, but let them start taking it. So that's the reason why first thing has been practical. And it is practical and everybody is eligible for it. There's no one. Because by nature we are that Atman. So, okay. The religious landscape has been a battleground of both science and religion. Religion tried to destroy science, not in India, but in medieval Europe. You see how, like Copernicus and all these people, they had to suffer. Even Leonardo da Vinci. And then science tried to destroy religion now. They're taking, let's take that revenge. And it is doing that. Here Vedanta comes saying, why? Religion is a search for truth in the internal world. Science is a search for truth in the external world. Science is purely a search for truth. And both will combine, and both have been combined in Vedanta. There can be no longer a difference of opinion between these two. And there have been great thinkers who have bridged these two disparate fields. They are actually one. Science is a religion, and religion is a science. There's no doubt about it. So we might as well save our energies into fighting science and all of that. They are actually helping us. They are helping religion, helping Vedanta. So that much to bring a little peace, because religious persecution has been terrible over the ages. People have been persecuted for their faith and beliefs. A new kind of culture is developing. It's neither Eastern nor Western. It's a kind of a universal culture, thanks to the explosion of this internet and knowledge, etc. Yeah, a child growing up in South Korea, in Australia, or even in Europe anyway, they have more or less the same type of characteristics of thinking, and the language might be different, but they have an overarching language. A common humanity is being formed right in front of our eyes. And they need an overarching philosophy, which will be Vedanta. The challenges are growing, every field, tremendously. No religion or no social philosophy is able to stem all these kind of huge, you can say, disastrous changes. Changes are happening very fast. Only Vedanta can bring in some form of sanity. And people who have been searching for the truth or searching for meaning of life, they will find it here. So be happy. What else do you want? Okay. So our species today is equipped with this knowledge, and we are now exploring the furthest reaches in the external world. And we are exploring the inner world also. And this has been the history of humanity. We are basically explorers. We have never stayed in one place. We have always talk about immigration. You can, Dan would have been surprised a few decades ago to see all these kind of people. Oh, what happened? Humans have been nomads. And that's why we spread from Africa out from Africa all over the place. We have been explorers. And that spirit of exploration is bringing us to Vedanta. There is no doubt about it. It will come. Okay. There is also every branch of science, it speaks about the oneness of life. We're talking about the disparity between science and religion. No. That life has sprung from one source. One simple single cell managed to replicate itself. And it over and over and over, we share the same genes and DNA across everything, trees, plants. There is a oneness of life. It has been demonstrated now. Then every branch of science actually is nothing but a study of consciousness. If you see, neurology is trying to search consciousness, psychology is trying to search consciousness, biology also is trying to search, all these things. But what has that got to do with your science? No, that's the ultimate drill. Physicists have been kind of maddeningly searching for consciousness. What is consciousness? But why should you bother about consciousness? But they find that this is the final answer. So you see, they are establishing Vedanta. Like when we came in, there was beautiful chanting, and here also beautiful chanting. That's an old, the traditional way of that language which couched, which held those truths of Vedanta. Now, the new language is the language of science. Vedanta is being couched, established, and spread to the language of science. Both will go together. Get ready for it. So, not just studying Sanskrit, and it's good, those who like, but learn the other language, because Vedanta can be spoken in n number of languages. And the principal language is the language of life. It's speaking of oneness all over the place. Everything is one. There's a huge tree of life. The chicken has more kind of genes than you, chromosomes, and there are some doctors who can. Everything is linked. The whole universe is nothing but a huge network. We are here, a physicist says, Lawrence Krauss, because some star turned into a supernova. Those materials that are in our bodies are cooked there. Otherwise, you would not be here. So we are the universe. We are a microcosm of the universe. Swami Vivekananda, in one of his experiences, speaks about saying in his diary, one of my greatest problems of my life have been solved. He had experiences of the highest reality. But how does the microcosm and the macrocosm run in the same groove? He experienced it at Almora in a place called Kakri Ghat. That peepal tree still exists, that river still exists. And there he had an experience of the macrocosm and the microcosm as one. So we as microcosm are the macrocosm. When you can see the whole of the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean in a drop of water, your knowledge is complete. Not before that. If you are seeing yourself at the drop of water, sorry, you're not a true Vedantist. Try to see all the ocean, all the waters in that one. They say Bindu me Sindhu. And then all the waters in the universe will appear like a drop to you, because the Atman is much greater than anything. So this huge thing, why are we here? What are we doing? These are kind of stupid questions. Who am I? Don't go on asking these questions. If there's any kind of psychiatrist, you will say there's something wrong with this guy. He needs something. He needs help. Who am I? Why are you asking that? You already know that the scriptures have already told you who you are. On one level, you are one with all life. On the higher level, you are one with the universe. And on still the higher level, you are that oneness. Why are you asking, who am I? Who am I? What am I? Where am I going? Where am I coming? These questions itself are delusive. They are misleading. Find out who you are, who you are. No. And if you keep quiet saying, who am I? Who am I? Then they'll say something's wrong with that guy. Is he religious or kind of nutty? Religion made him nutty. Religion is definite, it's precise, it is comprehensive. It will give you the answers. Don't go on asking all these questions. Yeah, I have great fun with people say, who am I? Yeah, I'm not. And I said, find out who you are. Where's this I? You have this I? Yeah. Where is it? It's somewhere in the body. They cannot find it. And then when they try to find it in your mind, it's not there. You find it, try to find it out, you'll not be able to find it. That is a phantom I. There was a movie, The Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, there it is. That's a phantom. There is no I. So what are you searching for? A kind of chimera. Like a, as they say, animal running to quench his thirst in a desert. What is this? It is definite. So this Vedanta gives you no quibble, no philosophical quibble. The definite answer. This is what it is. Vedahametam purusham mahantam adityavarnam tamasaparada. I know that great Purusha who is like the sun, resplendent beyond all darkness. This is what it is, Vedanta. But unfortunately, there are teachers. I don't blame anybody. There are teachers who keep on. But you be careful. Okay? So I had spoken about this. This philosophy is practical first and then philosophical next. So always remember, when you're dealing with life, you're dealing with experiences. First you experience it, then try to explain that experience. Sometimes we rationalize, we try to brush it away. So use common sense. Philosophy is nothing but common sense. You don't need to read a ton of books to understand Vedanta. Just use your common sense. So this is another aspect. You don't need philosophical, you can say, rigor or acumen to question your own experience. So use that common sense, and that's why it becomes very practical. You use the tools that you already have. Okay? There was a time when God was preached as far away, distant. God? Unknown. You can see around. There's no God. Vedanta takes the exact opposite stand. It preaches a known God. There is no unknown. It is known. If it starts with God is unknown, where? Far away. Second thing it does, it dismisses that faraway business. What you experience actually, experiences actually is grounded in that reality. It's always there. So this triad, the God business, reality is the world and you. These have been separate, like the dualism, they can separate. God, souls, and Ishvara, the, and the jivas. They're all separated. And then qualified non-dualism brought them together and said, okay, they have formed one unit. There's a difference, but they're the one unit. And Advaita Vedanta says, it removes all the differences. So it is a known God. Where do I go to search for that known God? Within yourself. So this is the practical thing. What about all these temples and churches and mosques and synagogues? Well, they're just helps, like kindergarten of religion. But don't stick to the kindergarten, otherwise you'll be pushed out. There are some people who like to stay in the kindergarten forever and ever. They are children. Swamiji uses the mustachioed babies. They don't want to grow up. So grow up and see there's no difference between souls, this external world. So this world is an illusion. That will come only after. When you close your eyes and you feel yourself I, you will feel the universe. Then you are ready for Advaita Vedanta. Not before that. Not before that. Now you close your eyes, you feel you're the body. Yeah, I feel the body. There will come a time when you feel you are the universe. Then that is a qualified non-dualism. Then comes the highest. Then everything dissolves. And what is there? It's not one, it's not two, there's nothing. You cannot articulate it. This is what it. Tell me when it's time to stop, otherwise I'll keep on. Okay. So it's always, there are two tendencies in even I and not I. There is something called I, you don't know where it is, what it is. Try to find out the nature of this I, you'll never know it. You'll never know it. There have been great discussions, great philosophies, Freud and this and that and all. Freud is now dismissed. Try to find out the nature of I, you will never know it. You know why? That is Maya. Sri Ramakrishna says, I and you. Lakshmana asks Rama, what is this Maya? Mai mera or tu tera. Me and mine, you and yours. This is Maya. So as long as you have this I, feeling of I, you will never know the nature of that I. But surprisingly, you can know the nature of truth. You can know Brahman. You will never know the nature of Maya. Impossible. Impossible. But science is progressing here. Let them progress. Keep on progressing. But you will never know the real nature of this external world because you can never know the nature of ignorance, avidya. It is ignorance. You can know the truth. And as Christ says, thou shalt know the truth and truth shall set you free. This is what it is. So you can know Brahman. You cannot know this external world. That is what Vedanta tells you. So don't go about searching. If your career is like this, so keep on going. But remember, you can never know. There are hundreds of things which you have not even conceptualized. This entire universe, they say, is just like a foam on the waters of unknownness, black energy and black matter, whatever they call it. It's unknown. They say it's only 4% or 6%, whatever. This visible universe. Well, it's nothing. What is that? We don't know. Keep on. Because we know, Vedanta knows, you'll never know that. So once you take a circuit and then you come back, what can be known? The reality. So it is more than known. Swamiji says, it is your own self. Try to grasp it. Not the I. Okay? Not, not this I. And that's why you can never know the nature of this I. You will know the nature of reality. How do we practicalize it? So there's another tendency. One is to pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti is circling away, the breaking of forces and circling away. Nivritti is coming back. So this I, this phantom I, accumulates everything around itself. And that tendency breaks, is nivritti, the breaking away of this false individuality. So both these forces are actually playing together at every moment of our waking and dream and every stage of life. Every time there's something coming and you're pulled, you have to let go things. You simply cannot hold on to. If you hold on to, you'll suffer. You'll brings misery. The cause of misery is holding on to it. Follow the laws of nature. Things come to you, let it go out. It will go out. When this breaking forth, the pravritti increases, then comes unselfishness, love, and all these kind of things. This is the platform in which you can build up your search for the reality. If it is still nivritti, me and mine, okay, you're still far from being a Vedantist. So learn to go along with this tide. Both are balancing things. Swamiji says in one place, yeah, we come and grasp things, and nature puts a hand on our throat and makes us open our hands. We fight, but nature will tighten that grip on your throat. Open it, let it go. That's a law of nature. That's a law of life. Hold it, cultivate, nurture it, let it go back to the world. These things are constantly flowing. Once you understand these principles, then Vedanta becomes a little easier for you. Slowly and slowly and slowly. I'll end up with a small, you can say, incident. Incident in the sense of there was a mighty woman saint. She was Sri Ramakrishna's disciple. Gopalirma, Gopala's mother. She used to see Gopala playing with her, entering her, coming out. She used to feed it. She used to take it to bathe. And she used to do all these things. Gopala, the child Gopala, God, used to help her with the firewood and help her to cook and help her to clean. Imagine at that high level of, she had a vision continuously. Yeah. She was one of those, you can say, the acme of all saints. These saints that we hear about are kind of nothing. If you compare her life, some of these householder disciples of Sri Ramakrishna were astounding. I've decided to speak about them in Seattle. So she, for 40 years, she was a widow. She, in those days, the widowhood means no remarriage. And she kept on doing japa and dhyana, with dedication. And finally, she broke through. Constantly, she used to see God. So Sister Nivedita once was sent to see her. So Swami Vivekananda told her, go and see that old India that is represented by Gopala's mother, of tears and fast and vigils and prayers. That India is going away, never to return. When I first read it, I was kind of shocked. If this was India for 5,000 years or more, what is this? It's going away, never to return. For years, I was kind of distressed by that. What kind of India will be then in the future? So all those fast and prayers and tears and visuals, all these things are going away. This new India with the India of Vedanta is represented by Swami Vivekananda. Heroic, strong, unselfish, compassionate, loving. We can love the whole world and yet not quake at it. We love one person and we enough. Oh, what kind of love? That love, rubbish love. This will be the new India of heroism with the philosophy of Vedanta. And the day this has come, Vedanta has been spreading. You notice nowadays, nobody is like prayers and tears and fast and vigils. 40 years she did it. Who will do it for 4 days? We don't want. And that's why, see, Swamiji was so prescient. He saw how the age will change. And this is what's happening. This will be now, Swamiji said, Vedanta, what it did was, it dethroned the God of the universe and put in its place the human soul. And how did it do? It's saying it broke the personal man as well as the personal God and built up the impersonal man and the impersonal God. And the subsequent history has been traced by the Upanishads where they both converge. The impersonal man converging towards the impersonal God, and both meet and say, Thou art that, Tattvamasi. That is this age. So for the practical side, try to see that impersonal aspect of it. It is there actually. You are a mixture of both person and a non-person. There is something called the very transcendent aspect within you. The ancient Greeks spoke about it as the logos. Everyone embodies the logos, which in St. John's Bible or whatever they call it, in the beginning was a word. It's nothing but Shabda, Nada Brahman, which the Greeks called it logos. So you embody that logos already. Everybody embodies that logos. So you speak like a god because of the logos. You think like a god. If you want to be a Vedantin, you've got to do that. Oh, I'm a small worm. Sorry, that will not do. Speak, walk, talk, live as a god. Then you will be a Vedantin. No groveling. No crying anymore. Stand up on your feet, Swamiji said, and be men. When that can come, entire humanity will be changed. So, we started with Guru and God is one. Sri Ramakrishna also, the scriptures say that the mind itself becomes your own Guru. The Guru is not external. You think Guru is there outside. If you think the Guru is outside, gone. If you think God is outside, you're gone. It's all inside. So that logos, the Guru, the God, whatever you call it, the Atman, Paramatman, Brahman, that is part of you. Manifest it. If you can do that, this is the best time, the very best time for Vedanta to flower and flourish. And the next generation will get it, and then they will develop it and more and more and more. That is the goal. So don't be selfish with your Vedanta, okay? But it's not like me talking about Vedanta, okay? Going about lecturing, live Vedanta. That's what. And you say, oh my God, this is the future of Vedanta. It's a most practical philosophy, not philosophy, doctrine. It is about you, your real nature. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. What question and answer and what answers? Okay, we have a few minutes. You can, if you have any questions. Everybody's smiling, so I think, No,
minority, but I think that a lot of Vedanta talks to people who are experienced or more experienced, who have lived in Africa, who have lived in an Indian situation, understand morality, understand the concept. We're now living in the West, surrounded by people who haven't presented moral values or no values. I've worked with people who are very unfortunate, don't have means, don't have money, and are driven to do not nice things in life. They're also driven by love, Swami Vivekananda says. As we are driven by love to do good things, they're driven by love
yes.
to do material things. But it seems to me that most of what I've heard of YouTube, what I've heard from people talking, from Ramakrishna Mission, not, for example, the person who talks with art of living, who talks,
No,
works
yeah.
who works with a prison public, which I've also worked with. I just wonder how through the work that the Vedanta mission of Ramakrishna is, how we can reach people who are unfortunate in this country, who don't have that value and moral structure, and need it.
First is humanity is broadly divided into two sections, broadly. The godly and the ungodly. This has been enumerated in the Bhagavad Gita. Daiva Asura Sampat. Okay. And the Lord has enumerated the qualities of the godly ones and enumerated the qualities of the ungodly ones. Vedanta will look at it like that. No, that's okay. That's oneness. We're not talking of oneness. Everybody's evolving. They don't feel oneness. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been doing all these things. The moment you feel oneness, you have morals, you have values, you have ethics. If you don't feel, if you have extracted yourself and think you are the victim, you are being this, you want to hit back, you want to get. So it comes from the, you can say, very raw sense of isolating yourself from it. So you get into unfortunate things. However, this is like somebody who's unfortunate. Suppose a person who's homeless. If you see behind that, there's a long train of actions. Don't see this. If you can see this, can you see the long train of actions? Who's responsible? You'll find that certain choices, certain things we have done has led us. And the example Vedanta gives Vivek Chodame is like a ball drop down on the stairs. First thing you got to do, you got to take responsibility for your actions. Yes, I have reached here. Do I want to come up or no? Or do I want to blame others? So you have to empower them to see themselves as connected with the whole. Stop blaming anybody and everybody. You cannot blame God. God has done a wise thing. He is, he's the most clever guy, the personal God. He has set in motion a law, the law of karma. जैसे करनी वैसे भरनी, as I said. So, if you are responsible for your actions, take responsibility and rise up. Vedanta then will come to you to give you that needed strength. Accept that you are a murderer, you're a liar, you can say, serial killer, whatever. I'm a homeless, I'm a drug addict. Accept that. Don't blame society, don't blame my circumstances. Only the weak blame circumstances. Then start rising. Then Vedanta can be perfectly applied. They'll be the best. You see, people who are disadvantaged, no. People who have been crushed, when they take up Vedanta, they really become tough Vedantists. Otherwise, people like us are armchair Vedantists. Yes. You see how they manifest when circumstances are against you, when you push yourself, people coming up. So, and like I said, Vedanta is applicable to everybody, to the housewife, to the working woman, to everybody, to the child, to everybody. But they must be able to come up to that. Or Vedanta will go towards that, but they must acknowledge their own divinity. And we must be able, I'm very happy that you're going down to prisons and this and that. It's very difficult to work with prisoners. I have worked for some time with prisoners in India. Yeah, no, I've seen them. Their minds are just sunk in evil. They just want to get revenge. So we used to work with those who are kind of contrite, they understand that something went wrong, I made my wrong choices and this and that. So we work with that kind of group. We never wasted our time because we had limited resources. We never wasted our time with those people. One thing always remember, nature will not let you go scot-free. If you have done something, it will hammer you. If you have done one thing, it will hammer you with 10 things. Yeah. If you don't learn, nature will teach you the hard way. So, like every society has to go through this. It's not only here, it's everywhere. There will be some people who will need help, but right now, amongst even our organizations, we do work in these fields. It's tough. We understand it's tough. But we have the answer. It's just the means have to be used by a large number of people. Secondly, this is not a new phenomenon. You think this is happening just new in America right now? For the last 15,000 years or more, this has been there. This has been the social human problem. Crime, evil, it's always been there. You think it's new? Only the old religion said, you will go to hell. At least Vedanta doesn't say that. Hey, you'll go to hell. You'll burn forever. No. That is the kind at least Vedanta is dispensed with that. Not that you will go to heaven also if you do good. That also, Vedanta dispensed that. He's trying to do better. Come on. There will always be this part. You see this beautiful city? Isn't it? Beautiful city. Don't you see this underbelly? It's miserable. Go and see it. And that's why in Advaita Vedanta, both good and evil were never separated. They were made one. What is good appears evil. What is evil appears good. Different times, different places, and circumstances. And we call that Maya. Otherwise, you would have to have a God somewhere, God in heaven, and that beautiful guy, Satan, Lucifer in hell, in fire. Rewards and punishment. The world was black and white. We understood that long time back. We threw these things out. We brought both these things together and called it Maya. That's why Ma Kali, here she's saying, okay, don't get frightened. And here she's kind of carrying that kind of sword. Yeah, will kill you. The blood mixed with blessings. This is the world. Don't run away from it. Don't be frightened. Face it. Lot of people don't face it. Fortunately, we are kept away from that side. There are some who face it every day. There are some who would. So, to help them, we need to make efforts on the practical side. But nature will teach them. Yeah, it's tough. But they should be able to own up to what they did. You see, if you do good, good will come to you. Somewhere you've misstepped, take the consequence. And you know what happens? The consequences of evil are terrible. You know why? It seems the whole world conspires to punish you. And that's why they say, stay on the good side. It's a tough world. And that's why I say challenges. Now you face your challenges with Vedanta. So we need to spread Vedanta amongst these people who don't know. And we are speaking of oneness. Don't make Vedanta on the level of physicality. There will always be you and there will always be me. There is something called Shankaracharya, Bhava Advaitam Sada Kuryad. That Advaita should be your mental attitude, the Bhava. Bhava Advaitam Sada Kuryad. Kriyadvaitam na Kuryad. Don't make Advaita on the ordinary level. So this is what is saying. Advaita Trishu Lokeshu, no Advaitam Guruna Saha. But that's it. There is a one amongst the many. When you see that one amongst the many, then that's Advaita. The many is Maya. There are some aspects of that many which are not now redeemable. Yeah, you better face it. Everybody is born equal. Sorry. Everybody is unique. Everybody has come with some acquirements and accomplishments. So Swamiji says, trailing clouds of glory we come. Swamiji says, trailing clouds of black fog we come. So what is their purpose? Their purpose is to balance the good. Whether you want it or no, this world is a force of balance. The many balance the one. The one balances the many. Okay. So we need to go reach out, but we need to be, have use of brains. A certain people, Sri Ramakrishna says, a piece of stone, even it is under water for years, not a drop enters into it. There are certain minds, Vedanta will not go inside at all. Why are there so many less people? Why are there millions of people? I spoke about this meant for everybody. But there's some calling inside. You're seeking the truth. And the moment you start seeking the truth, you will come to truth. The moment you are seeking for falsehood, for lies and this and that, you'll be pulled in that vortex. So learn to see the underbelly also of everything around, and then you'll say, oh my God. This is a wake-up call. See, don't run away from evil. That is another thing. Don't run away. That's what Swamiji said. No, this is the age of heroic Vedanta. Not that armchair, not that. This is what it is. So you, Vedanta says, you improve yourself first. And then slowly people will see, oh, how come, how come this person was even worse than me? I used to drink one bottle of wine. That person used to drink 10 bottles of wine, and now this person is now sober and doing well. What happened to you? Hey. So this is the way actually Vedanta was preached. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, na buddhi bedam janayed ajnana. So don't unsettle the understanding of others. You work out your own life. Let it be an example. Rest we will do the preaching. But real Vedanta is living, and people will see. We have learned. You know how? By watching others. When you were young, you watched your parents. And if they were fighting, then you know what happens to you. We learn what is right and wrong by watching others. All through. We have something called the mirror neurons. We mirror people. So there's a big discussion whether action comes first or thought comes first. We can see action, we understand actions, and then we start thinking. Okay? Yeah, it's a long-winded answer, but it's a answer. The question was profound. We can. Okay. Thank you.
When you're good to like the ranks, I work with the ranks too. And if you see God in all of them and expect them to be nice to you, they'll stand you. As Swami said, Vedanta is not physical, it's about physical. So we have to protect ourselves. Because I used to just, I believe them, do everything for them. And then, oh my God, this is crazy. But then, because that person is a stone is not going to change, so I need to be sure that the stone that is looking back, so I have to help, but without having myself. So on a physical level, I think we have to be very careful because I used to go around talking to all this, and I still talk to them. I have something, but that's the big sort of part of it, right? Please protect yourself from business because if you see God, that there are some young people, young boys just got killed because they're trying to help two other young people. So they went and stabbed him. He was giving them a right at midnight. Teenager. And he was a good boy. And these people were not awakened in terms of Vedanta. So we still have to protect ourselves because at a physical level, not everybody is there. I want to not preach around growing up in these gangs families and scenes of the it's sad because they literally didn't choose to be born into this and they're not equipped to do this and there's no one around them to push them out. Or you become a different perspective.
Whether you have no choice? No. According to the law of reincarnation, you were born in circumstances that were ideally suited to express yourself. But that's another long discussion. But first see God within you. Then you can see God others. Okay?
Thank you, Swamiji. As you said, in our Chinmaya pledge, we say the grace of God should flow through us to the world around us. So we are hoping that the knowledge of Vedanta kind of fills in us first, and then it also spreads to the people around and the world around. I know you said, even though jokingly, and I said that we are first learning Vedanta, and you said you have to also teach and share as we are learning. So we will take your message. Thank you
Thank you.
so much for
Thank you
your
very
time.
much. Thank you for the invitation. Thanks, Asha, for the wonderful, you can say, arrangement of all these contacting. Yeah. Come. Yeah.
We will request Sakal Ji and Amit to give a small memento to Swamiji.
Oh, thank you. Wait. Yeah, okay. Hey, you see, So you see, we need to thank all this organization, Chinmaya Mission and all. And like I said, when I was young, I used to carry this Upanishads by Chinmaya. So it was not kind of, I, in Uttarkashi, when I was there, I used to go to the Chinmaya Mission there in Uttarkashi also. So we have had I have had a personal long association with Chinmaya Mission. And I think, this is the second time I've spoken in the Chinmaya Mission. Thank you again for organizing it.
Swamiji, would you be able to give us such? Everybody will ask them to come one by one.
Sure.
Yes. Comment the line this way. Take the prasad from Swamiji and then